Hey my lovelies, and welcome back to Bex Square Gaming. I am Scottish Bex and it's time for more Ship Graveyard Simulator 2. We are working on the Contrabando, which is the one connected to the 30 days on a ship game. Let's continue on. Right, which is great. Okay, so let's do some cleanup. So we were working on here, right? What I'm doing is separating some of this off. Perfect, that's what I needed. Okay. What I can't do, however, is throw things because I don't have the up momentum to throw things. Should make it easier to throw now. Yes, it does. Okay, perfect. So let's start clearing. The boxes from before. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna go down here. Oh, didn't realize I hadn't cleared off up here. Okay. I know I'd kind of only really done one side, but I didn't. I thought I'd at least done the whole top deck of the one side. Or the whole top deck of both sides even. That's okay. Maybe I should have explained what I was doing before I just randomly started doing this. I am not throwing that. I'm trying to release the side so that I can drop some of the top floor to get some of the elements out. That is where I'm at. Coming across some more bits that I can't seem to dislodge. This was where I was. This is what I was trying to do. I was trying to connect some of it, not all of it, just some of it. Yeah, this is what I was trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is... Look at why that's now still standing, because it... Oh, because there's still bits over here, okay. I've only done one the top layer of the floor. I wasn't really paying attention. There you go. I wanted to do that so that I could get this out. Whether it comes down in one hole or in bits, it's obviously better to do a mass in one go because there's less sort of removal of other bits. It all just kind of comes down because you take all the central core, which drops everything. Whereas when you're doing it the way I'm doing it, you have to cut some sides off, so it's extra cutting essentially. But it's also breaking it down for me a little bit, which is kind of right now for me I need today, just because my brain is a little bit struggling. So yeah. Plus it means I would have to get that heavy element out anyway, so I'd either have to drop everything to this level and then continued on down, or I just get that little bit out, and then if there's no other heavy elements in this section, then I can drop the whole thing to the next level. You know, it's not a... It makes... Yeah. And I think in the long run, dropping all of it to this level, then dropping the rest of it to another level actually ends up being more work than that little bit. But when you've got quite a lot of heavy elements, it makes more sense to drop the whole level, because it takes you too long to cut that many chunks out. It's a kind of a... For me, it's it depends on the situation choice. I don't know if other people feel the same way, but that tends to be how it works with this. We've got rim. Right, yeah, that was a rim. I've probably already emptied that rim, but ooh. Slight sea view from this one. I think it's a sea view I gave it, to be honest. This is the back wall onto the... Yeah, there you go. Nice. Have a look around the rest of here. I think I've done the majority of this side because I had to get the... Oh no, look! Don't quite get a proper feel for the rooms because I've kind of semi-dismantled, but that was kind of a necessity to get some of that out. So there's another heavy element. Okay, so where is this? Let's even mark that as to where this is. This is a 2 square one, so I think we should be okay with that. We'll find out. Perfect. Okay. That's where we are, okay. this is the same level as the rest of the thick container, so I don't want to go past this level. I think this is the level I want to go to. So... right. So I think we've cleared out everything on this side now. Have a look around this side. Bedrooms. Container stuff. Bathroom. Okay. Front right. Ah, here. Okay, I know where we are. So what's in here then? Push the damn door! My goodness, that's annoying as hell. Olive oil. I think this level's sorted, so I think we're just down to this bottom layer. So what I do need to do is disconnect the remaining sides over here. So let's do that. Alright. That's those edges marked away. I don't know what the floating, see like the floating shadows are? Don't know what's going on with that graphical funk. Right. That should take us to here. So now we just have the layer below. So we've now disconnected this side. Although I do need to cut that. All the stuff. Okay. To double check the other side is set correctly, because all I was doing on the other side was trying to get the side out. I wasn't trying to actually do the whole dropping thing. So now that I'm doing that, I do want to actually come in and take a look at that. And then the thing I want to do now here back is drop those layers here. Obviously there's a layer below, but I want to drop it here because this is where all of the next wave of containers are. So, or should I say the base of the next wave of containers is. So kind of where I want to drop it to. I initially started cutting in half, but I've discovered I don't really need to do that now. Me changing my thought process halfway through it again. Sorry, guys. But I'm just trying different things, and I'm trying to find because every ship is unique. And it's about finding the breakdown method that works for each ship individually, really. Okay. Find the beams that's holding it all up, bring them down. the walls, of course, but... So let's start lowering some of these walls, and as we go, we might find things we still need to loot, but in the meantime, loot. Ah, we're not looting. We're not looting. We're dismantling and salvaging. This is not looting, Becky. Some days I do think I should just not get up, man. It's... Right. I think this side is pretty clear, to be fair. Will be interesting if we find a bit we've not found, though. That would definitely be interesting, because we did upstairs. We found like filler sections upstairs. So I mean, we did find the odd bit that was like, this is, you know. So it's not a completely foreign idea to us. It is possible. There's always a possibility. Let's take down these walls next. Trying to get through as much of this as I can before I go nap, but I probably will not get through all of it before nap time comes. I can feel myself sliding again. I think I'm just well, to be expected, to be fair, on so little sleep. Ah. Get round. And I can also collect a load of this. Have a clear. I did not mean to fall down there. Not even a little bit. Interesting. Hitting it. I don't think that's holding anything up, but I'll bring it down anyway. Just to make that easier. We always forget, we always think it's the outer wall going out the way. You also need the ability to go up when you throw as well, and I think we forget that sometimes, or I forget that sometimes. You guys might not. You guys might always remember that when you're doing this, but I do seem to forget that a little bit. Logically, I understand it. Whether I actually remember to do anything about that is something else. anything else on this level. Do a quick final clear, and then it's a case of I just jump ahead and level. Right, that's the last thing on this. Right, so I'm just going to drop the rest of these walls, guys. And I will be back with you in a few minutes once I've done that. Okay, cleared out this under layer. So with luck, I won't have messed this up. That is so satisfying. Look at that. It's lovely. Oh, cleanup time. One of my favourite parts, actually. I particularly like the cleanup time. I find it very chill. Very satisfying. Right, so let's do the cleanup. And there we go. Majority of it cleaned up. There is a few boxes down here from earlier that I might... Oh, there's some stuff down here that I didn't get. I'm going to go try get the boxes that have fallen down here. You know, I have to just throw them out at the moment. God's sake. I'm gonna get some of this cleared up. Falling down. See me running around after it later. Up. Go. I think one of the boxes was down here, right? There it is. Of course I can't pick that up now that I've picked up the actual other stuff. Ugh. Up. Oh. Just trying to do a bit of cleanup. I'm gonna probably have to take a break soon. Just kind of want to get a little bit of the cleanup done. This is all stuff that fell down when I was removing the roof. So I think the next thing, decide whether I want to continue taking off this front or whether I just want to start going that way. Did I not throw those boxes already? Are you kidding me? Are they trapped inside? They may be falling under. Look at that. That is okay. Okay. Right, we are at 2 hours and 20, which means based on between last time and today, we're at 6 hours. So it's taken us 6 hours to bring down everything that was on the top and take that first. What is that? Would we say that's a quarter? A fifth? Maybe it might be closer to a fifth. But the back never has as much, does it? So probably closer to a quarter. In terms of the length, it looks like a fifth, but there's still the bottom layer to go, which does have a load of heavy elements. So I'm debating whether I just want to drop that and then go forward, or whether I kind of want to just start working on this. The other thing I potentially could do, which shouldn't be very hard to do, and I might just try do now before I go for the day. Get back to here. Take the next edge off. That's not all of the crates, but it's a good whack of them. So if I can do that, it's going to make throwing from the crates to the truck a lot easier. There, and I didn't. Oh no, that's okay. That, you see this? It looks like it's gone around it. That's weird. Okay. The stuff that's on these ones is the ones that came down when I collapsed the roof. That's not all fallen from over there. So where's the other cuts? The cut point's there. The other cut should be down here. Ah, but it might not move because it might require the floor. Okay, got you. Okay, here's a thought. Okay, this is a thought. So what I might then do instead is take down that side. Because then what I can do is move the truck round to the front and plonk the truck here and throw to that from there. That's it. So what I might do is start dropping these sides then for the moment, so I can get the edge off and then go from there. I just feel I'm not quite at a nice stopping point, even though I'm really tired. I kind of want to get to a nice stopping point first. Ears are ringing. We'll get more fluid. I've not had enough to drink today. That is something I do. I don't. Does anybody else do that when you get really, really tired? You just kind of, you don't, like, I one of the worst things I do when I get super tired is I don't drink enough water. That was my glasses banging off the mic. It's a little too close to me. One of the things I do when I'm super tired and I feel hungover even though I've not been drinking, because I don't really drink. I'm not teetotal, I just don't really drink. Some people do, some people don't. It's just not a thing for me. Never been particularly fussed by alcohol. Don't have anything against it, just not fussed by it. Interestingly, there you go, hang on. That didn't move. There's also some bits we need to go collect. So I'm going to go all the way up to the top and take a look. And see if there's this up here that need collecting each level. A few bits here. I'll probably not manage to find them all, but it gets some of them out the way. What's potentially... I think this is potentially holding that on. There was one like that on the other side as well, wasn't there? That was up against the thing and it stopped it moving. I don't know if it's me, if I'm just misclicking, or if this is being really glitchy. To be honest, I'm not tired. It could be either. Right. You know what I think's most likely happened, right? We know there's pieces that don't separate properly, and I'm wondering if there is a piece up here that is stuck on. Not a cut piece over here or something stupid like that, is there? Do you know what I might do? I might go see if I can try the winch and then see potentially what it is. I love it when it does that when you need it to. It's annoying when it does it when you don't want it to, but when you need it to, that's great. Oh, look. Right, they're definitely higher up, and that's not pieces I saw, so let's have a look. So, that's interesting. Is that this piece? Yes, because look. You see the lines. Okay, so... one of them. Random. The other one was slightly lower down. So what we're looking for is this it here? Ah, here. And I can tell because I can see the lines. That should have moved. There we go. I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment. It's not appropriate and I'm tired. Yeah. Right, so we're about 1/2 I'm going to have to 2.5 hours even. See, guys, my brain is really shutting down. So I'm going to leave this part here. I am going to jump in again. Oh, well, I say leave this part here. I'm going to go sleep. That doesn't mean this is necessarily the end of a thing, but as always, if it's not where I'm going to leave a part, guys, you will obviously have me jump back in straight away for you, so you don't have to wait. But I, on the other hand, I'm going to take a break before I record some more, because I do need a break. But no, I think we're doing well. I feel like we got through a lot in 2.5. We got the rest separated, we got that out. Now, that's not as much as I would have liked for that amount of time, but I worked out where the sections are, and I've taken all that down. So, I mean, that is a big first chunk, and I feel kind of good. It's not as fast as I would have liked, but again, part of it is I'm tired, and another part is it's just not going as where the way I thought it was going to go. Maybe that's a bigger bit because the next chunk is a load of containers. That's maybe going to be a much faster piece, so I think it might be a bit mix and match. Anyway, I'll be right back with you. Right, we are back in, and I have a quick check just to see where the recording has been today. So we are currently at about 6 hours. So it's taken me 6 hours so far to get to this stage. The initial guess was 12. So whether we still make 12 is another question, because it does look like there's a lot, but there's also a lot of container spaces still. So I don't really know is the answer. What I'm going to do is start working on... I'm actually tempted to work on this side first. I know it's more awkward, but it means we can then get this wall down. And if we can get that wall down, then we can start throwing to the truck easier. So there is method to my madness. I just need to get enough off of the edges here that we can do that. That's my thought process. I'm going to clean up a bit so I can actually see what I'm doing. Because some of these I might be able to do already. I think this goes down. Yeah. Yeah, it's down to that level. So this, I mean, it is doable, but we just have to work it out, really, I think. So I do kind of want to try get this wall off. It's going to be easier. And I'm carrying too much. This has definitely been an interesting one. I had a look at the achievements, and there doesn't seem to be anything about the collectibles. I don't think there's a collectible on this one, because like the other ones have all had, you know, an achievement for collecting all the collectibles on the for example, the fishing boats DLC, etc. So I think this one is more that it's just an extra one. It's not really okay. That can actually just go. That helps. That helps tremendously. Where is the cut point? Helps if I know where the cut point is. I'll drop boxes just for the moment. Since we're going to drop the side, it'll be easier to then get the boxes to throw. Let's not stress trying to get back and forth. So this probably needs to have, we need to have the blue one go first. So where are you? Let's see. Alright. That point is here. So we're so close to this one. Okay. I mean, I don't think... Me through. Well, that was easy. Just tuck myself in here. Okay. Now that actually should let us... Yes, 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 yes. Sorry, guys, I'm in a weird ass mood. Okay, let's get over. Get this down. I've said this before, and for anyone who's a new viewer who hasn't heard me say this, yes, I have actually driven in a car with somebody who makes those noises as they drive. Like when they switch lanes, they go, and they're not joking. It's a genuine like impulse response that they do. It's hilarious. It's one of my, you know, one of my favorite people to drive with. Don't see them much these days at all because it was an old work colleague. But yeah, it was great. Always used to make me laugh anytime you got in a car with them. Alright. Let's go forward, shall we? Now that we can actually get rid of stuff. Wrong button, Becky. Don't get me wrong, got me up there, so it's not a problem, but it wasn't quite what I was trying to do. Let's pick this up. Do. What have we got left on the contracts to do? Just cardboard boxes. Okay. Plenty of heavy elements, there always is. Right. Clear that one out. Make walking around easier. And the other one's just empty already that we can just take. What did I see something? I know it was the crane. I genuinely thought something I'd seen something go flying there. I was going, but we haven't done anything that requires things to go flying. I mean, yeah, the crane does, but they tend to drop stuff. It's more the magnet that tends to do that stuff when it throws it for miles. can go. Any of these go? That one can go. I do like it. Just some of the... I don't know why, you know, it's good to just, if you just run the crane element over, because some of them can just go straight away and you don't even realise it. Some of this.
Hello, क्या हाल है?
That's why I wanted the side down, because it makes life 1,000 times easier. Again, sorry guys, I'm in the weirdest mood today. I don't even have an excuse for it, other than the fact that I did nap today, and it wasn't a short nap. After I finished at 4, I might have curled up on my rocking chair, and then promptly slept for 4 hours till 8 p.m. I mean, how to say you don't have kids without saying you don't have kids, you know what I mean? Of course, and to be fair, what actually got me up, because the rocking chair is really comfortable. You can get it's one of those oversized ones, and I love it. And it's one of my most favorite purchases ever. It's one of those ones I will never regret getting. You know, you sometimes you see a trendy thing or something that's trendy, and you buy it, and then you kind of think, I can't believe I spent my money on that. Yeah, no, don't regret my rocking chair whatsoever. The one thing I will say is it's really, once you're in it, it's really hard to get back out of it, between comfort and lowness. But yeah, it's one of those things. Quite funny, because every member of the family who sat on it's been like, ooh, and I'm like, that's exactly why I love it. That's it. That's great. Yeah, the only reason I think got up was because the dog sort of nuzzled me awake to be like, I need out, and I need food. And that's like, oh my goodness, it's 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, you do too. I do too. It's like, I'm not gonna joke, I probably would have done a full 8 hours sleep in that thing if the dog hadn't nuzzled me awake. I think that says A, how tired I was, and B, how comfy I was. You guys see that catch there as it bounced and didn't go over? That was beautiful, not gonna lie. That was gorgeous. Usually the edge ones are... Okay.
Hello, क्या हाल है?
Puzzle. Do you know what? I've actually really liked this one. I think for the puzzle aspect, it's not a puzzle in the sense of the way, but it is similar to the submarine in the sense of you've got to get one thing out before you can get another thing out, and which way does it go, and how's this go, and there's a bit to it which I kind of like. I also like the bright colours. I like the fact that it's cheery, it's bright, yeah, I've quite enjoyed that. Is that the back end of it? I think so. Aye. The answer to that.
क्या आपके पास कोई जहाज है?
Obviously, this isn't from the side over there coming down. This is because, if you remember, there was a big roof above this that I dropped. That's where a lot of that stuff has come from.
कोई बात नहीं मैं जल्द ही वहां आऊंगा
That one can go.
हम संपर्क में रहेंगे
These in there. In there. Don't know if any of them can go. That can go.
हेलो क्या हाल है
That can go. Grab some of this stuff. I take it back. There is a collectible. Congratulations, you found the broken old supercar. Old supercar missing some element in central engine parts. Too honest of the scrap. Too bad none of the scrap of these ships matches it. Just imagine taking Rajesh for a ride around here. Alright, okay. That's cool. I didn't get to see it all. I just saw the edge of it sticking out. But, there you go.
क्या आपके पास कोई
So, I do apologise, guys. There is a collectible in this one. It's just not an achievement for finding it.
हम संपर्क में रहेंगे मैं जल्द ही वहां आऊंगा
Now let's start sorting over here, right? I love how this one looks like it's whispering in this one's ear. Yeah, my brain is in a weird place today. Napping for too long does for you. Right. Get these collected. That can go.
हेलो क्या हाल है
Oh, okay. Isn't that one right? Yes. Orange one. The side of the other. Other side. White one. Other side. Okay. Or just fall off. That works too. Get in here. Oh, there was so much in that one.
कोई बात नहीं
Go.
हम संपर्क में रहेंगे
Is there anything in that one? No, but that might not be. No, because the wall's stopping that from going. So, yeah.
हेलो क्या हाल है
Slowly getting there. This is a great ship to do. It's actually making me really want to go and find that game, actually. That's probably the intent of two indie gamers.
क्या आपके पास कोई जहाज है
If it's not the same company, I need to check. Cross-thingying their games together. That's probably why. I mean, it's a good way of you know, if you get a game notice, it's a good way of you know. Definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the big games companies, I mean, some of the games they create are beautiful. Absolutely stunningly beautiful.
मैं जल्द ही वहां आऊंगा
And I get there's a lot of push around or dislike around like a lot of some of the indie gamers using AI to generate content. And I get that. I get that. I get the pushback against AI and all of these things and not arguing with that. I do think what it does say is that at least there's more indie developers out there. I mean, there's some great game ideas that many of us would want to play, but the big ones, the big companies won't pick it up. And if you don't, you know, necessarily have the time or the money to spend developing all, you know, especially now, this is the other thing people need to remember that I find quite funny when there's a lot of argument about the AI. I'm not saying AI is good, that's not what I'm saying, so please don't misunderstand me. What I'm saying is a lot of people are like, oh, AI is taking jobs and da-da-da, and you're right. Okay, yes, yeah. Now, the developers probably wouldn't hire someone to create those things. They would probably build them themselves. But when the games industry is pushing for, you know, like take some of the examples, the complaints when something's in early access for 2, 3, 4 years, right? If you're a one-man band, you can't get things out of early access quickly. So you walk that line between taking the time to do it yourself, which they probably can, I think they probably can, versus getting the game out because people just stop playing because they're just annoyed it's taking too long to come out. And I think this is where we need to remember there is a balance, and I think there is. It's like when people complain about changing of cores of games. Like, people will be like, I love that game, I can't believe they changed it, and you're like, yes, you are, but the core content or the way it is still there. But the issue you also need to remember is that while they might have added something in, they probably added something in for a reason. And it's probably because, like, while we might love the game, they still have to sell more to make the next part of the game. They need more sales. And the issue being that if they don't get those sales, and to do that, they need to appeal to a wider audience. So to appeal to a wider audience, they need to make changes that you or I or other people might not like. But they have to do that, otherwise there's not going to be any more content. Then people might go, oh well, I'd rather they just didn't, and that's fine, that's the way it is, you know, it never changes then. And you're like, what? That's fine for you as a player, but the whole point is these people aren't just making games. I mean, they are making games for us to play, but it's still a business, and they still need to pay their staff. And, you know, I do think there's extremes in the opposite direction, though. I think there are certain ones where DLCs and other things are farmed to death rather than just working on their next game content, their next game. And I think I get with that. But then you've got the opposite. You've got people who do move on quickly and create a new game, and people will be like, oh, they're just money farming, they're not, you know, they don't really care about their content. And then you're like, but to update the content they've got, they have to change it to appeal to a new branch of people that it's not appealed to, and then you're going to complain about that. I feel a lot of the time for this, there's no win scenario here. Now, do I think that people genuinely do things for the wrong reasons and just to make money? 100%. Oh, those exist. I'm not going to say they don't. I do think, though, the reason we lose a lot of small developers is for that exact reason. They are going in because they've had an idea for something. They want to make their game. They're passionate about it, but then they get chewed up because of our I want attitude that we all seem to have these days. And I kind of feel slightly sorry for them. And you see it even within the YouTube sphere. Like, not necessarily, I'm not big enough really for it to have been on mine, but you see it like when you're watching, like, say somebody who's got sort of a niche market. Now that's fine for their content, but they're not getting any more views, so the channel isn't growing. And the aim is to get the channel to grow, but if they stay within their core audience, you're right, you need to be respectful of your core audience, and you absolutely do. I've got games that I put on because people have asked for it, but it doesn't really get a lot of attention. Like, but it's because one of you guys asked me to play that game, I play it. Because you guys have been here for, you know, especially those of you that have been on since the start and or close to the start and commenting and helping be supportive of the channel, and you are the reason we grow because you make the effort to comment. Now, again, anyone who watches silently and doesn't comment, we still love you, so please don't don't take that the wrong way. But you know what I mean? You get, these are the things that push the channel. So you want to be supportive. So if they say, oh, I'd love to see you play this game, you go and play it. Because you want to, even though you know, you might not put it on all the time, you'll put one on periodically because you want to give back to the people who have been loyal to you. But what I was saying is within the YouTube sphere though, like sometimes you then have to push out from, like, so if you build yourself a market, a niche market, the problem you've got is there is only so many people who like things this way or that way and the next thing. And you're not going to grow unless you push slightly differently. And then when you start pushing slightly differently, it's, oh, you've changed too much. Or even on comments, like ASMR is a prime example. Okay, so let's look at ASMR. I watch a lot of ASMR videos. It helps me wind down, helps me try to get some sleep. It's one of the things I do try use to get to sleep, and it often does help me. And you'll be watching like one of the people, content creators that you like, and on that one video someone will be like, oh, I would have preferred it if you didn't whisper in this one. And then the next one she doesn't whisper, and it's like, well, why aren't you whispering? You normally whisper. Where's the whisper? This is just not as good. You're like, oh my god. You know, like that, you know, it's a no-win situation. You do it and a bunch of people love it, but also a bunch of people hate it. And then you role reverse. You've got then a bunch of people who like it the other way, and it's a no-win situation. You just absolutely cannot please everybody. And I think a huge percentage of us forget that piece of information. They forget that piece of information that, yeah, that may be what you like, and while, you know, and the other thing is, if that in that case, that video is just not for you. That video is just not for you. That's fine. Well, you know, you don't have to instantly stop watching that creator just because that one video doesn't suit your needs. Now, if their core content changes so much that that's the only videos they now do, then yeah, I can understand if you then decide that you're going to move on to, I've done it. I've had people that I really liked watching who've changed, who've either added in little bits, and that's fine because their core content is still what I love, or their core content has changed, like they've gone to something so different from what I like. I'm like, I can't, which I have had in the ASMR sphere. I'm like, no, I can't. Sometimes I'll still say subscribe and just watch their older content on repeat. Or it's a case of, no, I can't, I just can't watch this anymore. It's not the sounds that I like. It's not, you know, you completely changed up your format. It doesn't work for me, you know, a number of different things, you know, so. But you do have to, you can't always stay exactly the same. Growth does not happen that way. And I 100% understand that in any field. So it's the same with games, it's the same with anything. And I think that it's something that I see a lot and gets me a lot in the use. It's very easy to complain about something from behind a keyboard. And I suppose for me, from behind a microphone. But yeah, it astonishes me how often it's very me, like, but I liked it this way. Then there'll be a dozen other ASMR channels that will do that for you. Go find one of them. You know? Yeah. It's one of the things I've always said to you guys. That's part of the reason I do ask you guys what you want to see. Because part of me is like, you guys have been here. I want to show you some love and some loyalty back for the loyalty that you've shown to me. And the thing is that at the same time, I also try to stay true. Like if one of you asked me to play a game that didn't fit with my core values, or I really had an issue with for whatever reason, I would genuinely push back and say, look, I love you, but no. And you know, I might, you know, this, you know, that's the way it is. But in general, like, there's very few games I won't play, to be honest. I like a lot of stuff like that. I like a lot of games. I don't tend to do a lot of shooter games, but then I don't think anyone who's on this channel is here for shooter games. So, I mean, obviously we do our killing floor periodically, which we haven't done killing floor 3 yet. That needs to be done. But that's more because we enjoy doing that. So some of what comes out is because we enjoy it. Like our escape simulator stuff doesn't get a massive amount of hits, but we enjoy doing the escape simulators. It is one of American Bex's favorite games. So we play it and we record it and we put it up sort of as filler episodes. And the thing is yeah, definitely we like it. so we're going to put it on here because, again, it comes back to the reasons why you start channels and things like that. Would it be nice if the channel grew 100%, you know? But we're also realistic about where YouTube is and, you know, things like that. But it's... yeah. I think you have to stay true to yourself. You have to stay true to your core. And, yeah, so we do things that are just us. And I think that's it. You need to... sometimes you also do need to push your boundaries to get the growth. And there's a balance of so many things. And like YouTube is just one example of that. Like you say, the gaming world is another example of that. When you've got a game and people will complain because they've done this or done that. But that's the beauty of then you just... when it's done as a DLC, that's when it gets easier. Like, so for example, the new DLC in Power Simulator 2, Power Wash Simulator 2. I've not played it, but I've seen the screenshots from it. Don't think it's going to be my cup of tea. I'm not big on cartoony, which is funny because, like, you know, when you think about Subnautica, it was cartoony, but it's different. It's done in a different way, different style of cartoony. The other one's not really my cup of tea, and I probably wouldn't enjoy it. So it's like, but then you just choose, you don't buy that DLC. Now, obviously, it's slightly different. If I'm doing it for the channel, I might buy stuff that, because it's part of the game, to show you the full game spectrum. So this is this DLC, and, you know, and you get to see it. But for myself personally, would I sit down and play them? Probably not. But you will see that. You'll hear that. Like when I'm doing that DLC for you guys, I would say, if I was ever doing that game, I would say, not a big fan of this DLC. So I'm going to be honest with my feelings on it. I'm not going to be like, this is amazing, just to get the views and do something stupid and dramatic. It's going to be like, yeah, no. But the problem with that then is that when you don't enjoy something, you hear it in somebody's voice and it feeds in, and that's people might argue, but that's less entertaining. And I get that, but it's honest. It's like me. You probably do hear it in my voice when I get frustrated with some of the ships in this game because the physics are playing up, and I probably don't hide it very well. I'm not gonna lie. I probably don't, which is fair. But at the same time, part of me is like, I think there's too much push to be constantly positive. I do think it's important to be positive. I do think we should try. I do try it every day. I am actually in life quite a bubbly, jokey person, and so I do try stay positive about most things. But you know, I think there's nothing wrong with saying I don't like something, within reason. You are allowed your opinion, as long as you're not pushing that opinion towards harming someone else. I don't think it matters. You're allowed your opinion, and that's fine. There we go. Get some of this out.
Hello.
I can't even remember where that rant started, guys. I was going on about, I think it was games. It was about changing games, wasn't it? I love my random rants. Never know where they're going. Okay, that's what's stopping that. Okay, that's what's stopping that. Alright. Understood. That can come out. My random. Oh, I'd flick that to go. I'm looking at it going, the thing should be here by now. Alright, let's clear this out. So this series is coming to an end very soon. We have one more ship after this. Now, that does not mean there's a couple of things we still need to do. I would still like to go back and get the remaining achievements, which I will do. That might require... I'm definitely going to have to do the Poopy Bell one more time to see if it still is my favourite. So that's going to be up on the list of things to try. Plus, yeah, but... And then we're going to wait for number 3 to come out. So the question I have for you guys is, would you like me to continue redoing some of these vessels? Which I think we're just going to... Once you've seen it once, it's kind of boring. Other than trying to beat my records of how long it took me to... Really? Take me to do them. Or would you guys like me to move on to something else? Now, I've done Hard Space Shipbreaker, but I would do that again if you would like, because I really enjoyed that. And I would like to do that again with maybe on harder settings. I definitely would like to try that again with, like, oxygen on and break it down into shifts to see how much harder it is when you've got limited time and money's getting added on with every shift. Like, that's going to be chaos. Yeah, so things like that. I've also got potentially to do is Subnautica below, is it below 0? I've not done that yet. I would be willing to go and do that because obviously Subnautica 2 is not out. Although if Subnautica 2 is meant to be co-op, I'm hoping to talk American Bex into that one. So thoughts around... Because this is a very specific type of game. This is a dismantling game. This seems to be, you know, the one that, for the majority of our core viewers, do seem to really love. So this is why I'm saying it would be a case of where the directional... I will go in any direction in the sense of, if you guys don't give me direction, I will find a direction. That's fine. Without being mean or rude, I'm not, you know, I don't need you guys to tell me. It's not about that. It's about wanting to go and be loyal to you guys and see what you would like to see game-wise. So I don't ask these things because I can't think for myself. I ask these things out of respect for you guys as viewers as to what you would like to see. If you don't care and it's a case of whatever floats my boat, alright, fine. It's about giving you guys a bit of, not say as such, but it is in a way. It's about taking in your opinions. Because they matter to me. Right, what have we got in here? Ooh. I think we need to clear this level up here. Right. This was the bridge by the looks of it, or something similar. Yeah, just outside. It's gonna hit the edge. Oh no, that went! Wow. I see that coming. Interesting. There's a heavy element up here. Visually glitchy bit of that really does, it always makes me go, oh. It hurts my eyes. Thankfully I'm not epileptic, so it won't cause any issues that way, but my heart goes out to anyone who is. There's so many games that you probably couldn't play if you were. I'd just cry. I think it's up there with being told that you can't eat cheese. I think it's like world ending for me. Might need to go back one more. Yeah, do it. There we go. There we go. I used to have a friend, she's still technically a friend, I just don't see her very much. She moved away when I was younger. But we do stay in contact through various social medias. But he was allergic to chocolate. Don't know what it was in the chocolate, but she was allergic to chocolate. And she's not lactose intolerant, it wasn't that. It was something in the chocolate that she was allergic to. I think it was the actual sort of, you know, cocoa beans or cocoa powder itself. And yeah, so she couldn't have chocolate things, but that did not stop her. And it wasn't like an allergy that would put you in the hospital. It was the kind that, you know, just makes your lips swell up and your throat really scratchy and you just, yeah, it's a bit nasty for a couple hours. And she hated her allergy. And rightly so. I mean, you know, and not every woman's a chocolate woman. American Beck's not really a chocolate woman. She's not big on doesn't tend to. She's a savoury gal. You know, she'll thank you for a packet of crisps over chocolate any day. And I used to be more into chocolate, but these days not so much. But this is what gets me. Most people love a little bit of chocolate, and she did. She absolutely loved chocolate. She loved chocolate. This lassie, and yeah. So every day, because it was when I was at school, it was a school friend. Every day when I was at school, in high school, we had vending machines, and she would get herself a chocolate bar at lunch every day, without fail. I'd be like, you know, that's going to make you uncomfortable for the last couple of sessions, because you know the way it worked over here is you had 6 classes a day. Roughly about an hour, not quite an hour, but like 55 minutes plus your lunch and your various breaks. And so you'd have 2 and then morning break, and then 2 and lunch break, and then 2 and then home. So every day on lunch break, she would buy herself a chocolate bar at the vending machines, because her mum would never give her them, because obviously she's allergic. And it was quite funny, because every day we would say the same thing to her, like, you know, you're then going to be up, you know, you're going to be uncomfortable for the next 2 hours classes before you get home, you know, before you can get home and just chill out, and, you know, and every day was the same. Every day she would be like, don't care, it's too good. And she would buy that damn chocolate bar, and she would eat that damn chocolate bar. And it was one of those things, and it's one of those things that will go with me my whole life, that she did not care how sick it made her. She was going to do it. And it reminds me, because I went through a phase, I had issues with my gallbladder, and it was the same for me, that my mum would make something like chicken and cream sauce, and it absolutely would set me off, and I would still be like, the pain's worth it, let's go. And you know, I always used to think that she was absolutely insane for doing it, because it was like, you know, she was essentially risking putting, I mean, the allergy was not a severe one, so it would never have put her in the hospital, but it was very I mean, sometimes she would swell more than others. It was very uncomfortable for her, and but every day was the same, and she's like, don't care, love it too much. And I was just like, and I remember thinking when I was a kid, I was thinking, she's nuts, she's absolutely nuts, like, this is, who would do that to themselves? And then I had issues with my gallbladder, and I did that exact same thing to myself whenever my mum would make something that I knew would set me off, and I'd be like, don't care, it's too good to not eat it. Especially something like chicken cream sauce, my goodness, yum. Especially my mum's chicken cream sauce. I mean, there was plenty of stuff I wouldn't eat because I knew it would trigger me, and I'd be like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But yeah, a lot of the time it's you weighing it up, going, is it worth the pain? Yeah, it just makes me laugh every time when I think about that, because it's But no, but the point I'm making is how hard it must be to live on anything where you can't do things that you would like to do, that you would consider, you know, like this is saying, like this, I joked about it with the cheese, but seriously, the cheese, like I eat so much cheese. I don't know how I'd feel if I had to give up cheese. You don't even think about it. One of the things that gets me is soya is one of the ones, like, yeah, soya allergy. One of my great nieces is allergic to soya. And she has been since she was a baby. Unfortunately, when she was a baby, she was allergic to a load of other things, but she's not as allergic to them now. It made absolute chaos, because obviously, when you can't have normal milk as a baby, one of the things they give you is a soya alternative. So she couldn't have that either. So we had major problems when she was really little, because there were so many like milks and stuff she couldn't have. It's very difficult for a baby. But what gets me is so many things have like stabilizers and everything that are soya based. Like, so much food has soya in it, like crazy amount of food. And anyone who has that allergy, I absolutely feel for you, because every time we go somewhere with my greenies, it is that kind of, can she have it? Can she not have it? Looking through all the ingredients list, and because her allergy is pretty severe, and it can make her really sick. And yeah, it's. I don't know. You don't even think about some of these allergies until you encounter them yourself in real life, and then you're just like, oh my god. Like, I remember it was the first time we all went out together as a family, and she was a bit bigger when she wasn't a baby anymore. And it was like, and it was like, oh, we're going to go here. And it was like, we started looking at the menu, and there was like nothing that the little one could have. And it was like, really? And it was, yeah, a nightmare. I mean, luckily her other allergy sort of, she outgrew it. Is that the term you would say? So it has made things easier now. But still, soya's in so many things. So many things. And like, yeah, that I remember it being an absolute shock when we tried to kind of get stuff for her. It was, yeah. My heart does go out to anybody who has that kind of allergy, because it is an absolute, it's like, I mean, I suppose when you've lived with it your whole life, you just kind of go. Now, I know people would go, oh yeah, but it's no more difficult for somebody who's choosing to be vegan or vegetarian or one of these other things. But you're like, no, because those are personal choices. You're making. Now, I'm not talking about people who are vegan for medical reasons. They are very different. That's not really. I mean, you might still also be it because it's also an ethical choice as well. But you're talking about, you're doing it. Your basis for starting it is more. Medical, it's more it's medical based, right? But what gets me honestly is, so when I talk about these things, I'm no longer personal choices, because that is your personal choice. Yes, you don't emotionally want to be doing these things, but you can medically do them. Anyone who has medical reasons for doing stuff, but like, so if you have a medical reason you can't eat something, that's what I'm talking about. And I just, yeah. I mean, people might be going, oh, but they lived their whole life, they know what to look for and what they don't. And you're absolutely right. But at the same time, it's amazing how little the world caters to. Now, it's getting better, getting 1,000 times better, but it shows you how little we actually know what is in our food and stuff. Like, the amount of times I've eaten something, if you told me there was soya in it, I would have been like, not that it makes a difference, because like I quite like soy milk and stuff. I would never have guessed that that's what was in it. So, yeah. Where's the next? I don't even know where the next cut point is. Son of a, let me up and over. Right, so this is going to be a difficult one, because I think this one is going to require some. I'm not even sure how to do this. Do this one from underneath. Can I get under here? I need to take that down, but... Go. Was this the cut point here? Okay. Leave that there for the moment. Yeah. What's the worst allergy you've heard of in terms of like that would intrude on everyday life? Like, yeah, I think the soya one is one of the worst ones I've seen. But in terms of emotionally, I think the chocolate one was right up there. That's still glowing. Can I? No. Can I get? Yes. Okay, let's. So this is, I think this is almost there. This is another set of containers. So why is that piece actually moved, or is it not moved? So that piece goes to there, that's cut, that's cut. Is it still going down? That's what I think. Maybe it goes down another one. Or maybe it just needs the side removed, the floors here removed. That's probably the floors that need to come off, right? Problem is, I didn't state what I was planning on doing, and then that's what I always do, guys, when I don't state my plans. Like, I was going to clear that out, then clear that out, then drop all of that, and that's not what's happened. I kind of got sidetracked, and it's because I didn't state my intent when I started working on it. I've said to you guys before that if I don't actually state my intent, I kind of wonder. And that's exactly what I've done. I've been waffling, as I do, because, you know, we all know I love the sound of my own voice, and, yeah. I'm waffling at you guys now for about 50 minutes. Go, that's that one released. Perfect. Get that off. Oh, I need to think before I make statements. Everything I see can be turned into... Well, maybe that's just my mind. Everything I see can be turned into... I am that one friend that can make anything dirty. Pretty much. I would like to say it's just a me thing, but to be fair, American Bex is really good at it too, so... Maybe why we're besties. Let's... Let me just cut this away, because this is... all disconnected. Yes, it has. Okay, that's fine. All I really needed was to know it all disconnected. Where's the next section that we can remove? I'm just trying to do this. It makes more sense to try to get some of these walls down, and since the under piece is gone so easily, maybe worth trying to do up here as well. No, Becky. Okay. So apparently this one doesn't give a crap. It's just going to stay up. There we go. I don't know if we can get this one out. We can give it a go. That can go at least. Crap down here. It's even where the roof came down and other things. That point is through here. Boxes together if I can manage it. It makes it easier to clean up later. Get rid of you.
क्या आपके पास कोई जहाज है? हम संपर्क में रहेंगे.
No, Becky. Oh! I'm getting really good at the catch mid-bounce. Right. Can we? Perfect. I think that moved. I don't know which one I need to... This one, maybe? Nice. Where are we? We're just over an hour. I think it's not bad. We've got a bit more down for just over an hour. I don't know whether I want to sort of conclude this section before I maybe move forward again. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe clear the front before we move forward. You can see there'll be a lot of heavy elements down here. Ground level, because it's kind of like the last layer, isn't it? The last layer, the last layer, and then this super small layer underneath are always where the majority of the heavy elements are, so... Alright, so what else have we got down here? That's a heavy element. Goodies. Heavy element. Goodies. All the goodies. I think we need to go as far as that. That's not where we are yet. We're at this bit. I think we're working to this one for the moment. Although in saying that, it makes... I think I've dropped a bit above that. No, I've not. So yeah, it's definitely that first one that we're working to. so we're definitely working to here. Let's have a look. Slightly further forward than that cut point, but I'm just taking a look anyway. That's a heavy element. That's good to know. Okay. I want to make sure I've got all the stuff before I then go and drop all the walls. So that you're not missing anything. The purpose of the rooms, there looks like there's heavy elements in there. A lot of these look like they're just... yeah. They're all just hip rooms. They're all just like little bits with heavy elements in behind the grates. More crates and boxes. That all is, and in here. What's further forward from here? That's more heavy elements, boxes, oils. Right, next question is, this should be the front of the vessel. Yeah, there you go, that takes us through to there, so that accounts for all of that. Let's just double check there's nothing else on this side, which I don't think there is. Nah. So what I'm going to do, guys, is drop all these walls. Pick up that. And that allows us to then work on getting rid of all the heavy elements. At the front. With a yawn, apparently. I shouldn't be yawning. I slept for 4 hours. I think I've gone too far forward. I've lost where I was. Oh no, I've not gone too far forward. This is a bit of it. Yep, this looks like it. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm going to drop all these walls and I'll get back to you once we're ready to go. So, let's move forward. Okay, we're down to the last bit. We have a slight problem here. And that, like one of the other ones, this piece is now fragile with only those bits in the middle holding it. So what I need to do is jump up here and release these roof pieces so we can pull these pieces out, because... Nice! Because otherwise these pieces were going to go. Didn't quite intend the roof to go there, but that's fine. Get this out before we take this last wall down. I know I now don't need to take the wall down to collapse it, but I still want to do it, so. What I might do, since we're at the bottom, is just utilise the crane. That's that gone. We can... Okay. Do a little bit of cleanup. And while that is going, we can start the clearing of the rest of it. Wrong thing, Becky. Let's say generic company ABC. Nice. I've only ever noticed that that's what that says.
مجالتي بهان أونغا.
Finish getting these out.
Hello, क्या हाल है? हम संपर्क में रहेंगे. कोई बात नहीं.
So much clear up to do.
مجالتي بهان أونغا. क्या आपके पास कोई जहाज है? हेलो, क्या हाल है?
All of them, I think. That brings us back to clearing out the front chunk, which I'm quite happy with. That's been fair. What I might do while that's doing is jump up here and clear this here. Release the spider. Oh, well, not without releasing the walls, apparently. Okay, what a little lag spike's going on today.
बात नहीं.
Really, Becky? Really? I'm quite happy with that. That's quite good. So the other thing we want to do then is now cut forward from here so we can release the rest of the floors. Right, last piece. Let's go. Hopefully this will make the floors drop. Here we go. Nice. Let's run the thing over this.
Medalji Bahan Aunga. Nui Batnahi.
Watch it do its thing. That's so satisfying. Grab this front piece just in case it doesn't grab it. Missed a whack over here. Could just be that it's too much weight. It's not that the ring was in the wrong place. It could be that it was just too much weight for it to pick all of it up. That is fine. Grab as much of it as we can. Does the heavy lifting for us, the majority of it. It's just a quick bit of grabbing the leftovers rather than trying to pick all of that up and throwing individually. Right, so can we? This can go. This can go. That piece can go. Yay! The front 2 full sections are gone. I'm really pleased at. That's us another hour and 43 out down. So that's us at 7 hours and 45. I'm just doing a quick scan here to make sure I've picked everything up. Yes, I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, definitely very pleased with that. That's not bad. I don't know if I'm going to hit my 12 hour. I mean, that's 4 hours to go. We are a fair whack in, I think. I'm hoping that we're going to hit it, but we're not. I don't know if we could class ourselves as halfway through, so I don't know if we're more. We should be more than halfway through for our time limit, but honestly, I don't know. I need to think about now what I'm doing next. So this is the floor we want to be to. I do think I want to sort of drop everything at the front here to this level. I need to pull this forward. Now that we can. Right, doing it in sections, really. I mean... not having any luck, am I? A lot of stuff to clean up. I really do need to think through how I'm doing this. I think it is just trying to work out the best and quickest way to do it. And I mean, there will be methods to it, but I think I'm going in roughly the right direction, so. I mean, you could be quicker. You could just drop the magnet over that. It'll pull everything out on the inside of those and all the stuff that's on top. And yes, so you could do this way faster than what I do. I'm just intentionally not using the magnet. Not to drag the videos out. That's not my reasoning. It's so that you actually see the ship and what the majority of the ship is for. I don't mind so much once we get to the bottom layer or when we're getting close to being done, because you've kind of seen it. There's not much difference from, like, say, the previous ones, like the Steel Giants and stuff. So, yeah, that's slightly different. So this is definitely... See, this is... I think I should separate it to here, which is what I've kind of done. Do the front bit first, right? So, let's have a look. I think I've done the floor above already. See, a lot of heavy elements here. So, can't really just drop to the next level. Or is this the level I wanted to drop to anyway? I think this is the level I wanted to drop to anyway. So that's fine. What do we got? We've got storage bays at the front here. Oh, lots of heavy elements. Okay, so this is one we need to definitely think through. And that's out there. So what I might do is... No, this is... Yeah, what I might do here to clean this up is I might actually just drop these walls at the front here between the two sections just to make it cleaner. And then it's a very distinct that part and this part. Should be a piece in the middle holding those together, so I should be fine. Okay. Again, do you know the only thing we've not seen since the floating cities is they introduced the safes and the safe mechanic, and then haven't had any safes. And there's not like it was the last DLC. There's been a couple of DLCs since the floating cities. I find it really weird that they introduced the safes and the lock mechanic and then just never brought it back in. I mean, did people just not like it, or did people just feel it was so out of place that they never used it in anything else? Which I get, but at the same time then it 100% now feels out of place because it just feels like it was never reused. Like, if you're gonna do it, double down, man. I don't know, it just feels a bit weird. It's just odd that they introduced it. Like, and it's the same with the hazards. Like, they went, the original game, you went through all the thing with the hazards, and then, like, the last couple of DLCs there's barely been any use of the hazards. Now, again, is that because people have fed back that they don't want to do it? Because, like, you had the submarines was amazing but overly complicated. People have fed back, no, this is just a chill out game. I don't want to have to think things. I mean, I don't know. I would love to have that conversation with the devs and say, why have you changed up the method? Now, again, growth, you know, growth requires change, and I'm not. This is not me complaining. It's me curious as to the logic behind the decisions. That I always find that kind of thing quite fascinating. It's not a complaint; it's a curiosity factor for me. Like I love to understand how things work. I love to understand the thought process. Yeah. We've talked about this before. The way my brain. I always love to understand things. There's no such thing is too much information or too much knowledge. I crave it. So yeah, I love to understand how stuff works, and I think the thought process behind decisions is often a very fascinating one, but that's maybe why I want to do a psychology course. I think reasons behind why we make the decisions that we do is always sort of fascinating one, and that includes business. Business decisions are always an interesting one, and at the end of the day, making a game is business, so you know. Right, can we let's take it back to here, shall we? Need to pause shortly and go do my Duolingo. Not done it today. Timer, yeah, actually, that's a good call. Ah, still got an hour. It's fine. The day resets. I'm doing the thing where you tick it over because my studies are revolving around other apps at the moment and also tutors. I do have a tutor for my Japanese. So, but I've got like a 1,100 day streak, so I don't want to lose that. So I sort of I just tick it over at the moment rather than actually. That's why I'm saying I'm not worried that there's only an hour left, because I don't at the moment spend a lot of time on it. I think it's like anything. Any app's kind of useful, but nothing ever. I found that no one language app teaches you everything. I don't know if that's intentional, because it's maybe to keep you coming back and renewing your subscription, because, you know, once you know something, are you going to keep doing it? But my argument with a language app would be, yes, you would. Because unless you're speaking that language every single day, like if you move to the country, you're going to need to keep it fresh. So I think, but I know from a money-making perspective, they'll think, oh no, if we don't teach you everything, you'll never quite get it. So you keep trying and trying and trying, which I don't agree with, really. I found different apps teach you different parts. I mean, it's like, a lot of them are okay for teaching you vocabulary, basic vocabulary, but they don't teach you the nuances of a language, which I think is the important part. So, for example, we know in French, the nuances, a huge chunk of the nuances being the use of male and female language, and, you know, in Japanese, there's the nuances of, you know, levels of politeness, formality, which I suppose you can see is in a lot of languages, but it's more prevalent in that one. Plus, obviously, the use of the particles is a big thing, working out when you use a particle in what order, and things like that. Like, it's great, but it doesn't teach you, for example, the sentence structure. It doesn't teach you, so like, to me, Duolingo, well, it might do in other languages, but it doesn't teach you, like, you know, whether you've got to do, you know, whether you need to do your noun first, whether you need to do your description first, whether you need to do, like, if you're doing a date, like, do you do the year first, the month first, the day first, you know, which order? So, like, in Western world, you know, like, so in America, you do your month, and then your day, and then your year, whereas in Japanese, you do your year, then your month, then your day, and then, yeah. It doesn't teach you that. It doesn't explain, like, it might show you it, but it doesn't explain what that means. It just assumes you understand the nuance of it, which is, to me, is where it's wrong. But they are good for basic vocabulary grind, really. Tends to be what I use them for, is picking up new words rather than actually learning the language. I also find in most of them, they repeat the wrong thing over and over. Like, so they repeat you do a bit of repetition while you're learning that section. And yes, they do reminder course bits, but they don't really go back to doing full-blown repetition. So I think, yeah. None of that, I've not found one app yet, and I've got about 10 different learning apps for languages, that I've actually managed it yet. We've gotten it all right. I find I use different apps for different things, for learning different parts. That's this front bit cleared out nice and easy. Look at that, that's going to come down lovely. That does another just shy of 2 hours in, so that takes us to 8 hours. So we are now at 8 hours with where we are. I'm okay with that. Am I on track? I don't know. I am useless at judging how long things are going to take me. Mainly, I think if you've done the vessel before, you might be better at making a judge at it, because, like, you'll know, like, for example, oh, this one's back heavy, it doesn't look it, but once you get into it, there's this, or there's that, or there's next thing. So I think it depends on your knowledge of the ship. But Other than that, yeah. We have done the contracts, though. We have officially got the contracts. All the stuff for the contracts. So if we do break anything now, and we found the collectible, so it's not the end of the world now. There's a lot of crap here. That's where we even get to the boxes. Not the boxes, the crates, the containers.
क्या आपके पास कोई जहाज है?
That's a biggie.
हम संपर्क में रहेंगे. कोई बात नहीं.
Some of these containers don't have a lot in them, which I find really weird, because, and it's my understanding of shipping things by container is, yes, while cheaper than other options, is, still expensive, because it's, you know, per container and stuff. You would assume, they would want to fill any container. Like, I know, you know, that's an assumption. I don't work in the logistics industry, so I can't, you know. Maybe shipping containers is the exception, not the rule. That box is determined it isn't going in, isn't it? Like, no. It's having absolutely none of it. Right, can we release some of this? I'm just trying to get a bit more done before I take a pause. I'm going to say that I really do need to take a pause. Even for 10 minutes to go get another drink and sort out pick my Duolingo over.
Hello, क्या हाल है?
Right. That one does not want to go in, no matter what. I've picked that up and thrown that one about 4 times now. And it just, for whatever reason, I keep glitching out on doing it. I suppose that's the universe being like, just don't do it, just don't do it.
क्या आपके पास कोई
I do intend to start doing these ones. I intended to drop the front bit, but I've done what I always do. I start something and then change my mind and wander off. I'm kind of terrible for it. This one can go. I think it's a quick win thing. I think I see the containers as a quick win for clearing space, which makes me feel like I've done more. That's probably what it is. Probably where my logic is, like subconsciously. Without even realizing doing that, that's probably what that is.
कोई बात नहीं
I would say that would probably be a safe bet for me. That's probably what my brain is doing without even meaning to do that.
Hello, क्या हाल है?
Right, so I mean that's what I've done. I've cleared those two sections now. That one's under there. And I was supposed to be bringing this front bit. I mean, yeah, I don't really know where my brain wandered to, but apparently it wandered. No.
आपके पास कोई जहाज है?
Right, so I think I've definitely done this top level. Maybe not. Oh no, maybe I have. Close to it anyway, almost. That's it. I think that's the last of it. Yeah. So I need to review. This level was the level I was on looking at, and this had a load of heavy elements, didn't it? Which I said I might need to drop to. Where did I go? I was going to work on bringing down these walls, right? That was my next thought process, because while I would prefer to go a level down from this, I think this is what I did in the other level as well, wasn't it? I didn't do. There's a lot of heavy elements on this layer, so do what we must. If this is the layer that the heavy elements are, this is where we bring it to. Or we can just randomly keep trying to poke a wall that doesn't move. That works as well. I mean, where's the fun in it if it actually does what it's supposed to do, you know? Too worried. It's not like there's a massive amount of walls here and it's like an extra layer and it's like, oh, it's too many to bring down twice or whatever, but it's not that big of a section, so I don't think I'm too worried about it, really, to be honest. This bit could get funky. I might take this roof out, actually. These smaller ones are always more dangerous to get out. Hey, or I would if it would let me. Of course there's stuff about it. Oh, of course, that goes over another bit. Oh, frustration. Oh, inner anger. Hate love. I will say this one has done this to me a few times, where it's had a few pieces that are like, oh, this is not going to come away. If I do this, this is gonna break. So, yeah. That's the part and parcel of this game, though, isn't it? It's the not just willy-nilly going boom, 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 because, yeah, that might end up rather nasty.
مجالتي بهان أونغا.
We're gonna have another situation here with the same thing, because if I try to take that wall out, pain. Part of me is like, just let them go. I mean, I've got the contracts done. I'm not. But then I mean, is that just laziness? That's probably just laziness. Rather than actually doing it properly. I probably should just do it properly. On this side, can I maybe do it? Don't know was the question. Let's try with one of them. Oh, one of them went. One of them went. Oh, both of them went. Oh, okay, never mind. Lesson learned. That was, I wasn't trying to be lazy, I genuinely was wondering if I could do it. So the answer to that was no, it popped the floor as well, so unfortunately, no. That's okay, that's okay. Mistakes happen, and you know what? That's fine. It's good to chat, it's good to test theories on occasion. Okay, that is that cleaned up. So let's do this the other way. Woohoo! Area cleaned up, so let's heavy elements out. Anytime you're ready. Just a few pieces. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I might. Oh. Interesting. I might drop down here and pick up some of that stuff while those crane elements are going. Some stuff did fall down here, so... Quite a bit went down here. That's over here. We've already cleaned that area. I'd like to keep that area nice and clear. Okay, my lovelies, so we are going to stop this part here with that roof down and those bits out. It's a great place to give this a pause. So obviously we'll have one more part to this series. So if you are, don't forget to give us a like if you're enjoying the content, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of our content. We will see you next time. Enjoy.